That would be fantastic.
Yeah, hello, Earth. Yeah, okay.
So, this is not the most awkward thing I've ever done.
You can hold it wherever you want. Sometimes I met someone who like a little witch, right? Yeah.
I'm a little bunny.
Or like this, no?
He's a red-tailed fox.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking time. And I mean, you're like the Beatles in Germany in my eyes. Here's such a huge hype every year, or every 2 years you come over with a new album, especially in my peer group. I mean, they grew up with your music now. How is it to be back in Berlin? And first of all, welcome back to Berlin.
Thank you. It's always great to be in Berlin. Like I absolutely love the city. I love Germany as a whole. I haven't found a piece of Germany that I don't like. I've said this a million times, but the first time I came to Germany, I was like, I got off the plane. I was like, I don't know why, but I kind of get it. I get it. I get like, I can't understand what that guy's saying, but I do. I don't know what that thing I'm reading means, but I kind of do. I felt like on like a cellular level, I was like, oh, I feel like this feels really familiar to me. And yeah, so.
But wait, didn't you do a the ancestry.com and he checked his like heritage? And you've got
I'm a Viking and a German. I'm a German Viking.
You didn't even know.
I thought I was like English because it's like Chester Charles Bennington sounds pretty freaking English to me. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, I'm English and something else. I'm like mostly Norwegian and then like almost just as much German. So I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Makes sense, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
So did you try to find your ancestors, or is there anyone alive maybe?
You know, I don't really care, honestly. Like, you know. I'm not the kind of person who's like, oh, I have all these relatives or all these, you know.
It's you've got like a some duke or some, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's a Norwegian.
Barbara Bush. I am related to Barbara Bush. I don't know if that's cool or not, but it's a fact. Yeah.
Okay. What is your connection?
She's a cousin of my grandmother.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's exactly the reaction, right?
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, cool. But I'm sure that I'm also like a relative to like, you know, some dude who was like a maniac, like murdering, pillaging Viking somewhere. That's way cooler to me. You know what I mean? Like some dude that like conquered, you know, a little strip of land in Africa is cooler than Barbara Bush.
But how came this idea, just to check your heritage, or is it just only?
Actually, it's something that like like checking, doing the ancestry.com or whatever. There's so many of those. Like it's just I feel like a lot of people that I know, and maybe I don't know if it's an American thing or what, because everybody's just like everybody there is an immigrant. So like we all like my brother did it, so by default I did it. You know what I mean? And it's like we found out stuff about our Japanese side and about our like my dad's side and my mom's side. You know, cool stuff like army generals and, you know, cowboys and stuff. I actually, do you know who Jesse James is? I found out I'm related to Jesse James.
See, that's dope.
That's cool, right? Yeah, like, that was cool. But we were talking about that. That's the kind of thing he wants. He wants like some outlaw or some like
I got like
interesting like
some like conservative lady.
Yeah, it's not like you don't want to be related to like, oh, he was the governor of Connecticut, like I don't know what, whatever.
Delaware.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. Not that exciting.
Have you ever met Barbara Bush and told her like, hey, we are family?
No, and I bet if I was like, hey, you know what, I'm related to you, she'd be like, arrest him.
Yeah.
Look at his face.
Security.
Oh no. Okay, that's okay. Wow, that's really interesting. Maybe I should check too. Maybe I have some Chinese background, or who knows? Like
you might be Mexican.
Who knows?
You never know. My wife found out she was like part German too, because she's half Mexican, and she has like a white sister she never met. Like when I say like white, I mean like as white as I am, this chick is whiter. Like, and has like a southern accent, and she's so cute. She talks like this. And my wife looks like a Mexican girl, and it's like, I don't get it, but you know, it happens. It's cool.
Wow. Okay, good to know. So we have more background than ever about you guys. But first of all, you both have birthday. Chester last week. Happy birthday.
Yep,
Happy birthday.
I can't stop the aging from happening. I keep trying to figure out a way to do it, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, but I mean, you became 41. You also had birthday one day before me.
Nice.
I have February 12th. You have February
Nice.
11th.
Happy birthday.
So, thank you. So we are all blessed, like having our birthday.
Yep.
I'm 36. You're 40. You're 41.
Mhm.
So
Thanks for reminding me. I'm just teasing. That's it.
Out of here.
But Chester, what did you present yourself for birthday?
Do you really want to know what I did on my birthday?
Like, did you do anything?
Okay, so this is what I did. I laid in bed and I watched Iron Fist,
Oh, how was
the new Marvel TV show on Netflix.
Yesterday.
And so I watched like 4 hours of Iron Fist.
That's a big start.
And then my wife made me like a steak dinner. And
Wait, you watch TV until dinner?
yeah.
Wow.
Dude, I was just like, this is what I'm doing.
Oh my god. That's
And she's like, do you need anything? I'm like, nope, this is exactly what I want to do. I'm going to sit here all day. And so then I ate dinner, and then they made me a really nice Darth Vader head cake.
amazing.
It was fantastic. It was like one of the best cakes I've ever had. And then I ate some ice cream, like a bunch of ice cream, Chubby Hubby by Ben & Jerry's, as a matter of fact. And then I went back to my room and I watched another 2 hours of Kung Fu movies.
You know what's funny about that? You know why that's such a good birthday for Chester is because this dude like gets up at like 4 in the fucking morning and like works out and comes to work. I mean, it's like here and then you're doing stuff with the kids and picking people up and making dinner for like 20 people. It's like you do so many things in a day. He doesn't sleep as much as I do. So I mean, you sleep like 6 hours or 5 hours.
Oh, if I sleep for 6 hours, I wake up like, I slept too long.
So like that's part of it. But to like sit in bed and not do anything in a day is like really, that's kind of crazy that you did that.
It was rad.
Yeah.
Because I thought like maybe you did it like it's starting into a new chapter or a new era, like with the 4. Maybe you did a tattoo or something for remembrance.
Nah, see, here's the thing.
41.
Here's the thing. I've been in the tattoo business for 20 years. 22 years now. I can get a tattoo like anytime I want. I don't need it. I don't need a reason to like be like, I'm 41. You know, like I'm 14 in my mind. So like, no, I don't. It's funny, but like, I kind of. Birthdays aren't really that big of a deal to me personally. I know they're important to my wife. They're important. Like I want my kids to have fun on their birthdays. But I feel like after like, I don't know, like once you move out of your mom and dad's house, like, you know what I mean? Like I haven't really been interested in my own birthday for probably 15 years.
Oh, okay.
And every time, and like when a big deal is made out of it, I kind of get annoyed. I'm just like, dude, seriously, like, why are you putting all this extra stuff? Why is anyone putting all this extra stuff for me to do just because it's my birthday? Like, I kind of don't want to do any of it. That's why this birthday in particular, I didn't actually do anything. My wife was like, what do you want to do? I'm like, you're seeing it. And she's like, cool, I'm going to go do something else. I'm like, fantastic. This is great. It was awesome.
So, Mike, you became 40. Did you ask Chester which things you should do in the 40s?
Oh, maybe I
Since I have so much experience.
I mean, you've completed that. You've completed that test. So
Yeah. Here's one of the best comments I've ever heard. Joe Hahn, who like just turned 40, right? Before, like 2 weeks before his birthday, he was talking about somebody, like referencing someone that he knew. He's like, or somebody that he'd met. He's like, I don't know, like I can't remember his name, but he's like this old guy, like he's like 40 something. And I was like, dude, fuck you, man.
this old guy.
Like, you're gonna be 42 weeks.
Yeah, but it's all in your mind, right? Like that was one thing that I told people when I came home from we had a festival show here. We played with some other artists who are older than we are, and very like, there was something about the show where I went like, I don't know if this artist would be as successful in the US. And I came home and I was telling people about it, and they're like, well, why wouldn't they be? I said, because the US has like this obsession with like all their musicians being young. And we were, it's not just musicians too. It's like, you age out of things in the US. And what I like about Germany, and this is true for other places, especially in Europe, that, in fact, I asked the promoter, going back to the show thing, I asked the promoter, so what's the story with this group? Why? Tell me about the connection with the crowd and the group. And one of the things he said was like the crowd likes them because they are youthful. Like they're older guys, but they like run around and jump around and they act young and they're having fun. It's like, you want to grow up to be youthful, right? And I went, that is so cool. That's something that in the US they don't do. And I feel like maybe that influenced us or influenced me a little bit. Like I don't, I'm not dressing like a 15-year-old, but I don't want to act like I'm like, 70 either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever that means. I don't know. That's a unformed
You're as old
thought.
As you think you are.
Yeah. I mean,
and as young as you think you might be. I don't know what that means.
We're following the first half though.
Yeah, it kind of fell apart there, but that's what happens with age.
Okay. But you didn't give him any special gift for the 40, like.
He did. Wait, what did you give me?
I got you a Burberry scarf.
Oh yeah, that's with initials on it. No, the scarf is dope.
I was like, I'm gonna keep this. Oh wait, it has his initials on it. I can't.
That's right. Oh, that's so nice.
Man, his birthday presents. Cool.
I'm talking about age because like after more than 70 years, you're still in the game. Come up with your new album. As I just discussed with some friends about Linkin Park, they were like, "Yeah, you meet Linkin Park. Well, this was my sound in the 7th class, but now I'm in a job."
Yeah.
And someone said like, "Yeah, they're like the grandfathers of the rock, no?" And then I said like, "No, I know, because they are still fresh into the game and do fresh music." So, would you consider yourself like? How do you feel about if someone says like, do you feel like the grandfathers of rock or?
So I prefer veteran. I'm a veteran. I'm a veterinarian. No, honestly, it was really interesting. Like we did a show for a tour called the Warped Tour in the U.S. We played one day in Los Angeles because it was like celebrating 15 years of hybrid theory being out, and there were all these acts on the bill that basically like grew up listening to our music and like loved the band. And so
we had never played Warped Tour before.
We've never done Warped Tour. And I don't know if we could survive Warped Tour because it's like 40 dates in a row and you're like just constantly going and you never know like what day, like what time you're gonna play. Like we could be playing at noon one day and then like closing the next day. So, so anyways, we ended up doing a set, and during each song there was a member of a band currently on Warped Tour or that had played Warped Tour before that, loves Linkin Park. And it wasn't until like that day that I always kind of felt like we were like the new guys, even like after 5 records, or you know what I mean. It's just like, because it doesn't really seem like it's been that long. Everything's like we've just been working and working and working and working, and so it's gone by really quickly. And it wasn't until that day where like literally like every kid, every adult, every parent, every grandparent that I met that day was like, I grew up listening to your music, and like I wouldn't be here in this band if it wasn't for you guys. And I heard that over and over and over from everybody, and I was like, wow, like we kind of like we're the guys that have been around that bands like kind of look up to and go like, okay, like maybe how would Linkin Park do this, or what do you think how they would approach it, because we respect what they do creatively, business-wise, whatever, on live shows, whatever. And it's like, that's an honor, because, that's not something that you strive for technically, or that we strive for. We just always want to consistently make music that we're into, and like we've always got our ear, you know, to the ground in discovering new stuff. Like we don't get stuck in a certain period of time, or you know, and for bands to kind of come up and acknowledge that they really grew up listening to us, and that we've had a positive influence on them professionally or creatively is really like, that's dope. Like that's like one of the coolest, nicest things somebody could say to you.
Yeah.